Welcome back, friends, to another adventure. Today on the Spruce Stopper channel, we're going to try our hand at a little mechanicking. So you guys got a sneak peek of this beauty in a previous video. It has not been touched since. Don't have time. So I have the whole day today to just do this. And I'll tell you, I got a little disclaimer up front here. As I mentioned in my videos, I am just an enthusiastic guy about a whole bunch of subjects. I'm not a mechanic. I know very little about it actually. So I see a popular term on YouTube as revive and drives. I watch them. These guys are serious business. I mean, they know what they're doing and they get things running. I'm hoping for more of a like turn the key and start kind of operation. So I'll share a little background with you here. I was working at this property and these trucks are all sitting here in a row. There's several actually, a few real gems, some not so much. My opinion, this is the best one. And next thing I know, I'm trading work for a truck that I don't need. But I shouldn't say that I don't need, and I'm gonna circle back around to how this is relevant to maybe, you know, the whole homesteading. Homesteading is such a loose term, eh? We'll get into that in one video, but my version of homesteading is probably a lot different than another. Self-sufficiency, let's go with that. This old girl over here, my white Super Duty that you see me driving with the canopy on it, well, it's getting a little long in the tooth. Vehicles are really expensive, and you won't see me trundling down to a dealership to buy a new one. So redundancy becomes the strategy. If you're gonna have old vehicles that become unreliable to a certain degree, you best have two, you know? I don't know if this beast is the ticket for that, but the price was right, and it seemed like fun. A guy's gotta have adventure in his life. If you're not having a little adventure in your life, then what are you doing? All right, well, first things first, I guess. You gotta get under the hood, see what's home. Hopefully nothing alive anyways. Now, I could never tell you guys a fib. This isn't the first time I've opened the hood, right? I had a little peeky peek. Noticed a few things that might cause a guy a bit of grief. Of course, you got your telltale signs of mouse crap. Guys should probably check an air cleaner or something. I would assume that's a good idea. Make sure that nothing's living in there. And then we got this. This is important. I've watched enough revive and drive videos to know, there you go. Black right up to the full. That's probably a good start. See what's doing in there. Now this is Ford's glorious 460. Now my understanding from what I read, you know, not crazy serious on the horsepower by the numbers, heavy on the torque, and just an all-around workhorse kind of deal. So let's see what else we got here. Radiator coolant, that's probably important. Oh, it's totally empty. All right. That's not good. It's a warm day. We're gonna want to keep her cool. What do we got in here? I can kind of see it. Sort of, kind of. That's okay. Have no fear. I did bring a few things for it to drink, so probably be okay. Here's another lid. That's probably important. Oh, I can see the juice in there. It's almost full. Brake fluid. Another filler, but it's full. The reservoir's got the juice in her. That battery, I'm just gonna say, is not good. So I did bring a battery. And the other thing I noticed, I don't have to drive this very far, but I'm not interested in tempting fate. And like I said, this could become a backup truck, you know. A belt's not supposed to do that, I don't think. Beep, 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 beep. No, that's not good. So the power steering pump belt here is, well, done cooked. Ugh. All right, so I got a bucket of fluids here. All right, let's keep on with the theme of low-hanging fruit here. We'll swap the battery, and I'll tell you, you can tell I'm not a mechanic. I never had that ability. Some guys just look at something and they go, oh yeah, that's the size of wrench you need for that. And then they just pick it up. Not me, man. It takes me a couple tries every time. Of course, that ain't gonna take any size. That thing's been nubbed. The case of the round bolt. Go see if I got a tool that'll accept a round-headed bolt. All right, random battery. I had it home. Does it fit? Oh, it fits. All right. I'm only taking the air cleaner housing part here, whatever you want to call it, because there's a lot of mouse business, and I don't think it wants to choke in 17 pounds of mouse turds if that's what's actually in here. Well, that's not bad at all. Nothing come running out at me. Shove that over there. Oh, yeah, that ain't that good. Now the air filter, I don't have a lot of hope for. It obviously needs a new one, but for today, just get the spanking treatment here and bash it out. I did forget one thing here that you can check as well, which might as well. We've checked all the other fluids so far. Nothing at all. Power steering fluid. Oh, it's just under. I can see it in there, actually. Still, I went to all this trouble. Might as well top it up. Should we change the belts? Nah, we should see if it runs first. That's getting too cocky. So what I'm hopeful for, maybe not, like I said, maybe not with this truck. We got to see what kind of shape she's in. Those are nasty. Might as well start fresh. It's plenty long. Is that a guy would end up with a second truck that is, you know, reasonably reliable. I don't go that far. Like, I'm not traveling great distances from home, so it's not, mind you, that don't look any better. Oh, green. I'm not traveling great distances from home, but I have this truck, the white one with the canopy. It's not sexy, but it works so good. That 1980s fiberglass canopy, I mean, they don't build stuff like that anymore. I'm sure they do, but not that I can afford. You can actually stack stuff on the roof rack of the canopy and not have to worry about it coming apart on you. See, now this wire, not so long. I don't know if we're gonna cut this one off because I don't have any more with me. Not that big. Is that you'd end up with a truck. Oh yeah, it's falling apart. I don't have a choice. You'd end up with a truck that I could have a flat deck on, or a box, I guess, but I really would prefer a flat deck. Because that way, that truck's always got a canopy on it, which I never take off. So it means I gotta haul my flat deck trailer when I'm getting materials or picking up treasure that doesn't fit under the canopy. And a flat deck is really sweet because you can load it with a forklift, and I got the tractor at home with pallet forks. So whatever treasure I bring home, are these not as long as I thought? Did I just disappoint myself? All right, we got coolant. There's no squirrel in the air cleaner, so it can breathe a little bit. I fixed the battery connections. So it had oil in it. I checked all the other fluids. They're not too critical to it starting up. Am I forgetting anything? I don't know. Nothing that seems too worrisome. Well, let's see. The next stage here would be that it has keys in it. It's supposed to. Oh yeah, it's got keys in it. All right. It has keys in it. All right, well, this seems to be the moment where you only get one try at this. So I'm gonna set you guys up out here. I'll sit in here, maybe roll away. Oh, no. We did forget something. You didn't remind me. let's throw a little juice in it, a little bit of gasolina, and because I mean, if it does have fuel in it, it's probably not the best fuel. Okay, well, I'm not looking to donate fuel here because we don't know if this is gonna work. It's got dual fuel. Now, I also have it on very good advice. Don't muck around with the fuel selector switch, which stands to reason. Everything on this thing is crusty as an old turd. Oh, you gotta roll a window down. Oh no, it's missing the knob off the rollie. Oh my God. I'll have to steal one off the other door. Roll that down. It's warm in here. Let's see here. Just turn the key on. Oh, I heard the fuel pump. Oh, I really want to touch that fuel selector switch. Does that seem dumb? I'm gonna do it. It's just my brain's in that mode, you know. I'm thinking it's been 12 years since I bought a new vehicle. That Super Duty was brand new when I bought it. Some old fella had custom ordered it into the Ford dealership, and I went in there looking for a base model truck because I just wanted plain and simple. Get that in there. And what they had was the truck I got, which is not a base model, but it was cheaper than the base model. And it came with, fog lights, running boards, backup camera. The guy had ordered it that way. And it was cheaper, I guess, at the time because they special ordered it in. The guy forfeit his deposit and he never came back for the truck. So lucky me. Well, I don't hear it pouring on the ground. That's a good start. I'm gonna put the whole jug in. Who knows what that fuel gauge means? And with that 460, 5 gallons of gas should at least get me to the end of the driveway. I mentioned in the video that I don't know a ton about vehicles and that, and I don't. Not a ton. The mechanical side more so, I got no problem with. And I do all my own maintenance that I can on the vehicles that we own because I don't mind doing it. And I don't want to put out the money for somebody else to do it. But there's two schools of thought, I think. You got to be kind of respectful of both because nobody should tell other people how to spend their money. That's their business. Of course, unless they're your kids living in your basement or something, you might want to weigh in. But if you don't mind doing the stuff, like I'm a hands-on guy, I like doing stuff at the home base. Self-sufficiency is important to me, so I like to know how to do it. And I get a sense of pride out of doing it. But if you don't get any of those things, you like to go golfing on the weekend, or you got other hobbies, you got a boat, or you crochet, or I don't know what you do. There's no shame in paying another guy to do it for you. I mean, that's good too. There's lots of mechanics that need to make a living, and if it's not your strong suit, well, take it somewhere. And if you simply just don't want to do it because you don't want to spend your time doing that sort of thing, that's cool too. It all keeps the economy moving forward, which is important these days. I mean, make a little money, spend a little money, and do what you like doing. Oh no. Oh, I almost spilled 30 cents of fuel there. You get all the last drippings. Oh my, that's beautiful. Oh, it went up a long ways. Okay, well, we're in good shape. I hear the fuel pump. The fuel gauge works, got fuel in it. You guys head out front and we'll see what the key does. Okay, here goes nothing. All right, well, that was short-lived. That was short-lived. Okay. So the key doesn't do anything, but everything else is working. But there's no clicking. Like, I don't hear no clicking or nothing when the key turns. It's hooked up, to my knowledge, to this solenoid. And, well, I've watched enough YouTube to be dangerous enough to know what happens. There's only 2 bolts on it. And this little one, I'm pretty sure goes to the ignition. Oh, I'll be right back. I'm pretty sure it's not in gear. Yeah. It's not in gear. That'd be disappointing. I don't need it in gear. Okay. The batteries are tight. Now let's try this. Just like that. Oh boy. Okay. It needs some help. I'll pull the other truck over here. It needs some help, but it turned over. Well, we're calling that turned over. It was at a half an RPM, but it did it. All right. Life support. Okay, are we ready for it? We'll see if it's got enough. See if my truck's putting out enough juice to make this truck want to do its thing. I'm not gonna try the key. There's like a 95% chance it still doesn't work. So let's just get on with it from out here. Oh man. Okay. All right. You know what works a lot better? This I do know about automotive stuff. Truck starts a lot better if the key's turned on. You ready? Hold your breath for a sec. Oh! Oh, it barely turned over. Are you kidding me? It started. Man, I couldn't be more pleased with myself. How do you're the only ones out here with me? Aren't you happy? Holy shit. Let's get you off here. Let's have a look. Look at that. Look at that. It's purring like a kitten, man. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, listen. There's nothing. Wow, there's ticking. That Ford ticks, that Ford ticks. That's just manifold bolts. That's exhaust ticking. That's not dangerous ticking. I'm just gonna add this in real quick too. You're not gonna see me do it. Notice how I was like standing way back out of the way? When I see these guys reaching over to grab the throttle and rev these things up when they're doing these reviving drives, that makes me pucker up, man. That fan and them belts, I don't like that. Well, let's see if things work from in the cab. Let's see if things work from in the cab. I don't see why they wouldn't. Does the throttle work from in the cab? Yeah. Look at that. Oil pressure. Well, we know the battery's not working. The fuel gauge works. Wonder if the clutch works. Oh, reverse. I'd say we're stuck. Oh, and it went into first gear. It wants to come out too. It's only in two-wheel drive. We have so many options still. All right, I was just looking at the belt situation here. This one's easy to get off. This one don't look too awful bad. Figure you just gotta loosen the alternator bracket. Seems to be what keeps the tension on her. Now, this is where I feel like I'm deviating. We've got the revive part done, and you want to move on to the drive part, because that seems like more fun. But oh, see, it's not even seized in there. Again, in the sense of preparedness, a guy should address as many things as you can, I think. I don't have to drive that far, but oh, look at it, it just pivoted right over. Are you kidding me? Oh, I mean, this is the easiest thing. You got to take this front belt off first to get the back one off. So I went ahead and I actually bought both belts because they were not expensive. And in my experience, well, see what this becomes? This is a good tip. This is how I operate my equipment. This one is good enough. This becomes a spare, okay? Goes behind the seat. Then you got two. The old belt. You put the new belt on. Saves you any hassle because, well, who knows with stuff these days. The new belt, it could blow off in about 3 seconds down the road. I think that was well worth the effort. That water pump is a concerning looking outfit. A little scabby. Let's see if we can't get her out of the hole. There's no more maintenance to be done because, well, because I don't have any more parts. Come with a rotten board. Here's a donor truck right next door, so we'll go. Can keep that. I don't want that. Dude, I was complaining about how wet and bad my firewood was in the last video. Look at this. Oh, a spare tire. Holy sh... Look at this. It's not even flat. What do you suppose is in that? Being that this is a farm truck, I'm gonna guess it has full of used oil. I think I'm gonna place it in the donor truck. But look at that. Look at this. Part of the deal. My very own fifth wheel hitch. My very own fifth wheel hitch. Might have to find something to pull with it. That battery is real cooked, man. Real bad. I just let her charge a little juice into it for a bit. I won't be shutting it off on the way home, I'll tell you that. .5 volts, so I'd say it's charging. All right, this battery is 100% no good. Dead as a doornail. It said it took a charge, and after a little bit of mucking around with it, it's done. So we're gonna donate the battery out of the Super Duty, put it in the old F350, because I gotta drive this old truck home and then come back for the Super Duty later, which I guess I'll have to bring the battery with me. Well, the speedo doesn't work, but that don't matter. Everything else seems to work pretty good. Once you get used to all the smashing noises from the shocks that are non-existent and all the pieces that are falling off underneath, this thing's a Cadillac. A Cadillac that rides like a lumber wagon. Oh yeah, you should see the look on the people's faces going by me. Jealousy. Like, oh man, look at that classic. Look at that classic beauty. This thing's running so good. I'm gonna drive it straight into the parts store and get a battery because the poor Super Duty is left battery-less. Oh yeah. Oh, a little bit of a, we're in 4th gear and it's got a little stutter. It probably also has like 300,000 kilometers on it, so there's that. Just in 4th gear though, it doesn't like it. Doesn't do it in 3rd gear. Lots of power. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Thought I lost my starting screwdriver. Well, we made it home. One piece. It's actually a couple days later. And a couple things have broken on this already. A couple leaks have developed, but hey, we made it here. And it still runs good. I've only had it for a couple days and already it's coming in handy. Mobile jumper pack. Whew. Couple mosquitoes down here. Well, I'll tell you, that was handy, like pockets in your underwear. Poor old tractor had a dead battery and well, the old blue truck already to the rescue. So I hope as you watch through these videos, you're sensing a bit of a common theme of some self-sufficiency, some independence. That's really what we're striving for here, regardless of the project, whether it's a second truck so we don't end up walking somewhere, or leave a client in the lurch because I can't fit enough tools in the basket of my bicycle. The business videos, the homesteading videos, whatever we might come up with. I really appreciate you watching along. We have more in store. Stay tuned.